All right. We are live. It's time for town hall number 168. It's October 14th, 2025. And today we are being joined by Ayomi, Guillermo, Lola, Nefertiti, Tefo, and Vanni. Thanks for joining in. As you can see on screen, relatively concise agenda. Might be record-breaking, I just mentioned. Let's see where we get to. Starting off with a quick mention of what the Ambassador Program even is and what we're doing. Basically, we're a group of like-minded people who are quite in tune with the mission and vision of Singularity Net, building towards beneficial AGI. And we do this through a wide range of self-organizing work groups. And yeah, if you're looking to help out, we do have a work group that fits your interests. So hop onto our Discord server. And yeah, you will find a how to join section, which will explain you how to join. All right, I figured on the mentioned side of things, I would like to touch a little bit on the topic of Ocean Protocol leaving the ASI Alliance. I kind of assume most of you heard about it, at least. Also, it's really not my role I don't have all the insights, clearly. Pretty much, yeah, what's clear so far is they basically felt the Alliance has completed its mission of getting attention to its goals. So they could leave. I might be biased. I don't quite agree with that personally. It's not so much about my personal opinion, I guess, but I don't know. There's a lot of unclarities, and yesterday I had a Twitter space with Ben and Humayun, going a little bit deeper into the backgrounds and the current situation. And there was also a statement released from the ASI board. Yeah, it's all over socials in that sense. I can grab the link in a bit. I don't know. There's a lot of unclarity. Short that would be pretty much the short version. There's legal stuff going on, which to which I'm not privy, which might be a good thing, and so I can't really. Nobody really can comment on that. It remains to be seen how it will be dealt with. And sentiment-wise, it looks like well, there's just unclarity on how the tokenomics will be adapted. Ocean has about a quarter of total supply is coming from Ocean, migrated to fetch tokens. So in that sense, that will need addressing and will get addressing, but part of that is pending legal. So yeah, that's not going to be solved within a couple of days, most likely. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to say. I just felt a bit odd not touching on the topic. So if there would be any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll try to answer. But yeah, I think that kind of covers what I initially felt like saying about it. And of course, if there's any questions on the topic, simply throw them onto Telegram. There's yesterday's AMA was quite clear that there will be a lot of follow-up on this. So yeah, it's just a shitty, unfortunate situation. I used to have Ocean Protocol quite, was quite fond of them. Followed them since years, and now this, it's just shitty. Not sure what to say on it beyond that. Well, on the bright side, actually, development-wise, and that also plays into, I assume, why they left. There's not a lot of technological integrations happening, so them leaving will also not really impact future developments. That's a little bit of a small positive note in all this mess that it's causing. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what to further say, but if at some point you have any questions, feel free to reach out and I'll try to answer as best as I can, of course. And that would bring us to the main agenda item for today, and that would be to touch on BGI 25, which a week from now will be in full force. Yeah, and basically our involvement as an ambassador program is on two sides. One is the Unconference part, and the other is the Hackathon part. And looking at the room, we might be preaching to the choir a little bit. So in that sense, I kind of figured it wouldn't make sense to have this on the agenda, but I also, I don't know, maybe we don't need to spend half an hour explaining to ourselves how things will work, if that makes sense. So yeah, I guess let's keep it relatively concise. Yeah, I don't know. We have quite a lot of involved people in the room. It's an arbitrary order, but I guess on the conference, the unconference, for some reason I put first on the slide. So perhaps funny, could you give us a little bit update there?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, we are preaching to the choir a little bit here, but if people and if there's anyone who's not sure what an unconference is, it's just a way of organizing an event that's a little bit more participatory and led by those who go. So the ambassador program this year is kind of leading the virtual unconference. There will be stuff going on live in Istanbul, but I'm just going to drop a link to what we're doing virtually. And we've prepped a few different sessions, but anybody who comes along can also create their own breakout room and set up to discuss something else if they want. And that's the sort of participatory element of it. You can see the registration link there. So if you come in, go ahead, register. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can see the four sessions that we've got planned. There's one about AI ethics work groups research where we've been supporting BGI Nexus in kind of researching the public's views on how AI can be governed ethically and developed ethically. So there's some interesting insights from the research that we've been doing, and just a little bit about the whole DeSci thing and like why it's important to do this kind of research in the way that we are doing it. Then after that, we have a session on AI in DAO tooling, which Vasu is hopefully going to put together. But he may have to drop out, and if he does, we're going to run something either about further developing the AI ethics and safety framework that BGI Nexus are working on, or a little bit about their ideation challenge that is coming up shortly, and maybe doing a little bit of live ideation on that. Then we've got something about AI ethics in community governance, which brings together R&D, archives, and think tank, and possibly African Guild. We're still sort of waiting to hear on that, but it should be a really interesting discussion, that one. So I'd kind of say if you're umming and ahhing which one to go to that one. And then, unless of course you're a Spanish speaker, when the fourth one is definitely the one to go to. It's a little bit late in the day for those who are actually in Istanbul, but it's all right for a lot of us. And yeah, LATAM talking about how AI is redefining Latin America and AI human collaboration and its regional impact in LATAM. So yeah, those are the ones that are on the table if you just want to come along and take part. But if you've got an idea for something you want to spin up yourself, then register, come along, and we'll create you a breakout room. And there you go.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Not just for sharing this, but also for well, being instrumental in putting this together.
Oh, I could just add, if there's anybody who hasn't seen, there's a post in Ambassador General channel. We're looking for a couple of people still to run the Zoom room while the breakouts are going on. So there's a couple of slots there if somebody wants a little task, just kind of probably going to end up just sitting and chilling and letting the odd latecomer in. So yeah, if you're up for it, please let us know.
Yeah, awesome. I'm still kind of puzzling on a personal note. I'll be on the floor, so it's kind of well, it's implied in an conference that it's not really clear what's going to happen physically there. I'm still trying to puzzle if during one of these sessions I can, I don't know, play this linking role between virtual and physical. Um, I mean, I will be on the sessions, so in that sense, I'll be on standby, I guess.
Yeah, that would be ace because I do know that obviously BJ and Nexus are doing a session about kind of, this RFP ideation, but I'm just not sure what time of day it is. But if it is early, then it'd be nice to feed that into some of the later sessions, what people came up with.
When you say you can create Zoom rooms, it's not that in us here in Ambassador Program Singularity that can create a Zoom, but when I send this invitation to other networks, they also can suggest Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, that's another thing I should say is it would be really good if anybody can help amplify and publicize this. So I'm doing my best, but I had some fun with Catalyst's Discord server. You can't post anything with any links in it anymore. So that was a bit frustrating. But yeah.
Yeah, if you got like, okay, there's actually two things then. If you have the publishing material, I can do the Catalyst the Discord stuff, but yeah, and then the other vote is more like specific people who actually want to participate in these kinds of events. But for them, I don't do the general publishing. I will do a personal message and link sharing.
Kind of feels to me like sharing this website would be for general publishing would make sense.
Yeah, and we've got a little graphic that people can use if they're posting on a platform that uses little graphics.
All right. In the meantime, also welcome Esther. I was just thanking Fanny for being instrumental in getting this together, but I think I should be thanking you as well.
I did very little of the work. I have to say that the ambassadors have been doing such a great job in putting it together, especially at such short notice as well. And I think it's a really amazing program too. What an incredible set of sessions.
Yes. Um, all right. I do believe that kind of covers the conference portion, unless there's any further questions or comments.
I would say on the unconference part that we're going to put the sessions, if they're not up already, then the sessions are going to go up on the event app, which we are piloting now. So if anyone on this call would be able to take a look at the event app and play test it and just see if there are any bugs in it, see if anything could be improved in the short time that we've got, make sure nothing breaks, that would be much appreciated. I will post the link and the link to the spreadsheet also. And then you get a kind of sneak peek at what's going to happen. And if you want to keep it's really the virtual event app as well. So if you want to keep up with what's going on, have all the speaker schedules, and they'll all have the links to the live stream in them as well. So in your pocket, you will have a full guide to the conference. Plus, also there's a kind of community area there as well. So if you want to talk to the other participants too, then that's all available. And if you want to start any discussions or anything in the virtual unconference, then you can publish kind of topics for discussion there. Ha, I
Awesome.
found it.
Looking forward to it. I didn't get the app yet.
It is here.
Right. Cool. Quick check on the room. Any questions on the conference right now? Of course, if you happen to have questions later, yeah, just ask them. Just trying to make sure we covered before moving on to the hackathon portion. And it looks like no questions. Ah, there's the link to the backlog as well. Thanks. Cool. Okay. I think that covers for now. Yeah, then moving on to the hackathon. I think Nefertiti, should I give you the room or Guillermo, or you should fight amongst yourself and then decide, or
Fight, not a fight. Yeah, I think we could both just kind of talk about it a little bit because we were somewhat like with this program just brought together through synergies, right? Because this is all one thing. So I at least believe that Haley put Guillermo and I together, which we had met in Panama last year. And so it was just great. He had cut his hair. So I was like, I know that guy. And clearly the mission is very much centered around young developers. So it just made sense for us to come together. The same as with BGI Nexus and the Ambassadors Program. So we've done our best to involve all of the programming in the hackathon, visually, print-wise, and just in everything that we're doing. And also because we had such a large influx of young people, we wanted to give them an opportunity to join these programs. Clearly, the Ambassadors Program and looking out to BGI Nexus for their ideations and just wanting to continue to promoting what you all are doing really just backs up what I've been selling these kids, which is they can be involved in something. And I think the easiest way to make that happen is by staying connected with what you all are doing. I'm just learning a lot of this, but I'm trying to follow all the bouncing balls and make sure that I'm tying things together. So with Esther, we've been talking back and forth. I've already signed up. So I'm assuming that if I sign up on my phone, I can still push that same link out once you say yes to the developer community, add it to the WhatsApp. And what we've already done for the hackathon is we've also encouraged these young folks to join the Unconference. So joining the Unconference through the app then would serve both purposes, right? So why don't we try and organize that properly over the next day or two? I've got a couple of devs on my team that are really way more savvy than my old butt that can probably get it done a lot smoother and faster and just make it the norm. And in regards to the hackathon, again, something that just kind of was an idea before the merger. And it was an idea when we were looking at the BGI 25 happening earlier this year. Things slowed it down. We designed the hackathon to reflect the ethos that it's not a competition. It's not for code. It's really a call to action for young people in Turkey, India, Africa, and Argentina, really just around the world to join a community and to speak languages that represent their history, their stories, their skills, their dreams, and all of the different things that we feel could help incubate the next generation of AI and AGI aligned developers around research, creative technologies, and using, of course, the hack pack that we called it today of Meta, Fetch, all the ASI tools, minus people that have departed, clearly, but a real strategic call to build toward decentralized AGI. Now that I've started as a documentarian and as a student of anthropology, I've gotten a lot more insights than I had, I would even say, a year ago. Just hanging out with you guys and listening and reading and trying to hang in different arenas and learning, I really understand what this means and the impact of it on culture. And so being a person who's been building culture, I think it's important to continue to interweave all of the connectivity that's within Singularity Net outward. So meaning that if we do something, it makes sense for us to do it together. I don't necessarily agree with all of the ways that things are being gathered and ideas are being shaped, but I'm open. And I am open to making sure that people have solidarity with what their processes are and also their contributions. So I'm happy to invite any of you that want to participate. There's a week-long schedule. It's flexible. We're in Luma changing things every day. We're in WhatsApp changing things every day. Nothing is going to be in cement. As far as the Unconference is concerned, the idea is to actually give these young people an audience to present their final actual builds during the Unconference. That could also happen virtually and or within the Unconference that you all have planned here so eloquently, which I think looks amazing. I'm also interested in some of these sessions. I can participate in some of these sessions and maybe help you find people. I know WADA will be present, so As much as we're reaching out to the African community, they will be there. One of their representatives is actually flying in. So yeah, open. I think if you just go to the bgihackathon.com, I would love to sync this into the app. I think it belongs there. I think that a lot of what's happening in the app, we will amplify. And then also the sessions that are happening with the Unconference, with the ambassadors, we've already started to promote those sessions. Just giving people something I think will be a little more interesting for them as they're young people to join. And also, have a chance to speak and talk and be heard. I feel like this is what the Unconference can do for them. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. I don't know, Guillermo, if you want to jump in and talk about what you're going to be doing. And I know we have a track that we've built for you. I see your track is kind of late, but I'll advertise it anyway for those people who, that are in our community that want to join. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, and no, first of all, it's great to see this happening in parallel and with the BGI. I met you, I met Esther, I met Peter, I met Tivo. It was a great beginning for this journey challenge, and it really, I think it's an evolving process. I really like today's meeting. There was almost 85 of community members, young kids, young developers online joining for the lunch. So that was really cool. I also think it's a great opportunity to keep teaching, sharing knowledge to young kids to challenge themselves, to pitch ideas, to learn the whole process, And also the other thing that I really like from earlier today is that, and from the tracks that you shared with me the other day, and thank you for inviting us to participate in this, the ambassador program, is the idea of the BGI really represents all of us. So we are building a consciousness all together. So the idea of building teams from India to Latin America to Africa it's really cool. Not a rhetoric at all. It's really cool. It is happening. We are doing the same here, So I really like to see it's happening. And also it's a good moment for us also to keep sharing the learnings from the program. We have been building tutorials, we have building educational materials, so that it now is most valuable, and it's good to be used, we just don't want to put it up there. So now kids can use that step-by-step kind of stuff. I really like the tracks because they have this BGI DNA all around, they're not about marketing, exponential and all that corporate side of that I do have. So for me, it's a learning experience itself. Wanted to share also that so Contelegraph in Espanol, so the Spanish version approved the report we're going to put out. So we're going to be advertising this. We have only 2 days where we're going to be trying to outreach as much developers possible. And also it's the first experience for ourselves to build our own hack. So probably we can iterate and keep learning and scale at one point. And all what you guys have been doing in India and in Africa, it's coming very handy. Yeah, and just to close it, so we have the news. OpenAI is investing a lot of money in my country. I'm in Argentina. It's really, it's not a really good feeling. I've been part of this community building, the concept, the decentralized AI, and we are really committed, not only this house, but there's a community of fighters down here. So now more than ever is when we need to kind of push hard, double time, double up the beat, and yeah, and make it louder and louder and louder. So I think there's a great opportunity for that to happen, and all what's coming after this, it will be come from this learning experience. We're gonna, as Neff was saying, we're gonna fail, succeed, crush our fingers, with a hammer. But the stack, the ASI stack, is very powerful. We have been learning this last quarter with the LATAM team, Leandro, and the kids around building stuff and participating in Hack. So we learned this now. Now it's time to put it back to the community and see what the kids can
Yeah, and
use.
I was just going to chime in, Guillermo, and say you heard kids today. All they want to know is, what are we going to use? How are we going to use it? We need examples. And as I said to Ibby this afternoon, what I find interesting is the human side of this. We oftentimes want to just give people videos and tell them to join virtually, but these are young people. They want to hear and see humans. They as much as we're shoving this technology down, everybody's throat. It's so important that all of us work together and continue to figure out how to exploit each other's knowledge. I mean, you guys have been doing this longer than me. I'm only as good as the properties and the things that you've built and your experiences. I'm just a vessel pushing through this AGI messaging. And so it's super important for these young people to have you as the tool, not just what we're building and getting them to ideate around, but hearing the voices behind the ideation is key. And I say that because that's how we got the numbers. It wasn't because we were just saying, read this, show up online, and nobody's there. Nobody wants that. People are too isolated. So I feel like what you all are doing with the Unconference gives people a chance who will never have the opportunity to travel a voice. And it's super important. I get probably 100 or so kids a day reaching me. Like, you said you were going to do something else. You said you were going to be in touch with me. Oh my God, I'm talking to you. It's important to them, right? And I could not express that more. So anything I can do to uplift these programs within the programs that we're running, let's just get a CTA happening. I'm an old lady. I like to work with actions. Let's put together a way for us to communicate, because I believe once next week kicks off, I mean, I'm producing this party with Ben and the robot, and then we've got these everybody's going to get crazy and busy. It's going to get crazy. I would love it if this group could check in just to make sure that we're calibrating for one another, so that we could figure out if there are things that we can do to support and help one another. I know I'll probably need the help. I'm sure that, if there's anything I can do outside of what I'm already doing, I'm more than willing to do it. I will be landing on Thursday. So if it helps to get some idea or some sense of the venue, whatever it is physically, let me know. But I do think it's important for us to make sure that the connectivity is here. You've got BGI next, you've got the app, and you have the Unconference, and you have the Hackathon. They feel synonymous. It really feels like they should just kind of be one thing. I mean, I don't know. It just, to me, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of the young people today had a sense that they belonged and that they were a part of something. And I would love to continue that with having them join the ambassadors in their place, creating an ambassador group. Now that I've done the research, Peter, over the last a few days to figure out, it's easy to join. You don't even need to have a qualification. You just need to join. And then also with BGI Nexus, about to have this new ideation and RFP, and then what LATAM is looking to do. Let's figure out a way to create some action items for this internal group that we can execute. I've got the Luma going. It's got thousands of people. I guarantee you hundreds will show up. I'll take those same hundreds. I'll give them the link Hamza just shared with me to get them to sign up for the Unconference. One of the things that we're asking these young people to do is not just hack, but to participate. Show up, participate, show up in one of the rooms, have proof that you've done it, because you'll be judged on your participation. I think that gives them a chance. It's not a forced thing. It's just a suggestion that they participate, because otherwise you're hacking for just the money. You're not really getting into the community and exercising who you are, what you are. So I just wanted to add that in there. And I think, the ASI kudos, giving the compute to the teams is also amazing, because that was just like a last minute thing that Ibby, asked them to do. And they just said, yeah, here you go. Also, Luke will be speaking. If any of you guys want to have the floor to discuss any of this, including, I think, the Unconference, and Guillermo, clearly you're going to be on, so you could be the voice of getting these young people to join, the Unconference and these rooms, because I think it'll be more interesting for them. I think watching people speak, yes, some of it's going to be, it is what it is, but I feel like if we create a place, they will show up. Peter?
Yeah, well, just to connect to that, there's mentioned by Vanessa in chat on there is a couple of hours gap between the third and fourth session of the Unconference, which in theory could be used for Hackathon ID Fest kind of event.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, then you would actually give them make them more part of the Unconference and the whole.
Yeah, and as I just saw this right now, I thought to myself, why don't we do it there? Like rather, I mean, look, the idea is that room is going to be available from what I understand from Philip and Pam. It's just going to be empty. It has a stage. It should have some of the same tech for at least half the day. Having people like to see each other. Maybe it's just me being a media person, but I think what really excites young people is when they see other young people, when they see action. So I feel like, yeah, let's figure this out, because it doesn't make sense for us to be in an empty space. It makes sense for us to kind of pull it all together, because then it galvanizes what each of us are doing. And then we can keep that same mantra going throughout this week, right? Because I've added you guys to the site. You can see yourselves up there. Now that I know you have a website, Peter, I just found it. I will link that as well. So yeah, I'm all for it, guys. Like I said, I've got a team. They're pretty savvy. Just let me know what the action items are and I'll push the play.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. It's just amazing to see this, especially on such a
Peter, this is when you get
actually
over 45, baby. Stuff just gets real smooth.
Yeah, fair. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. I mean, smooth doesn't really matter, right? We'll get there.
You just chill, man. It's just like
So, would it make sense to cover the tracks a little bit, or is that a bit much? Or like, I mean, I can screen share and read what I'm saying, but
I would love to see the tracks. I'm just seeing all of this literally right now.
So it doesn't really feel like my place to call these out, but not to put you on the spot, but perhaps Guillermo, I believe, could you maybe talk about this, or is it?
I could jump in. I mean, it's
Oh,
really
well.
not a problem. I could just explain. I mean, literally, when I came up with these, for me, it was really a matter of really just trying to find a smooth way to discover BGI. I learned a lot last year, and it was important to make sure that the continuity was there. So the cultural memory is really about AI systems that can preserve and translate contextualize indigenous knowledge and oral traditions. Clearly we're dealing with the global South, so that seems to be important. Also, ICOG has been working on something similar, so it just felt like a really, good problem statement. Explainable AI for civic decision making is a lot like the DAO thing that I've been watching happen over time, and this is really a challenge that's designed. You design an AI system that doesn't just give outputs, but it explains their reasoning in ways that people can actually understand it, older people. Build symbolic or hybrid reasoning models, e.g. Meta, Hyperon, or any of the hack stack that we've been given. And that can generate clear human readable justifications for decisions or recommendations in domains like governance, healthcare, education, public resource allocation, to provide multiple levels of explanation for technical and experts in a simplified community manner. The next one would be decentralized news reporting, clearly being in the media and, working on a docuseries around AGI. It's important that we figure out how to create information without the centralized media gatekeepers, right? So the solution would be to include an on-chain reputation system, AI assisted, of course, using Meta or Hyperon, and to incentivize the mechanism for people like journalists that aim to create resilient, transparent pipelines of trustworthy stories that can emerge from ground up and resist manipulation. Why it matters is because AGI and the AI systems become a part of the information ecosystem. The integrity of news and public discourse is under unprecedented strain. I am an American. Need I say more? So this was super important to me personally, and also just to demystify a lot of the vulnerabilities that people don't see happening every day to marginalized voices, especially around propaganda and corporate media bias. The fourth is protecting people from AI harm. At first it said children, but I felt like it should be people, because there aren't just children that need to be safeguarded. People need to be safeguarded. They're vulnerable people all over the world. And the harmful effects of AI need to include protection against overexposure, manipulation, algorithms, misuse of personal data, predatory corporate practices. And so the solution could range, we thought, from privacy preserving AI agents that mediate vulnerable people's interactions with digital platforms to education tools that teach children about safe AI use, to decentralized frameworks that prevent exploitation of young users' data. And why it matters is because we all know that amongst the most vulnerable populations in the age of AI are kids. Their decentralized AGI really is something that needs to have protections that ensure that people have rights. It's just like a new car, it comes with rules, right? I mean, we went from trains to planes to automobiles, and even in those transitions, we completely had a lot of rules to the engagement. And I'm not saying everybody needs to, abide by every rule, but I think there needs to be some rules. And so that was kind of the ideation behind creating those four tracks. And then also to keep in mind that a lot of these developers have built something. Most of them have built things that could use one of these four tracks to enhance what it is that they've already done. So we're not encouraging people to necessarily start from fresh, but we are encouraging people to build teams and to build community across the plethora of countries and continents that we're involving. So hopefully that made some sense.
A lot. Yeah, very solid. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, quick check.
That's actually nice coming from you guys, because I am new at this. I mean, honestly.
Well, you're nailing it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Ben keeps saying, he's like, Neff, you're smarter than you know. I'm like, I did go to school for anthropology. I retain story. So I just look at what you guys are doing like a story. And so it's easier for me to kind of regurgitate it from that perspective. I do think there's room for more of voice, from inside the Singularity Net community. I feel like the BGI summit serves a few purposes. But at the end of the day, people are in swanky hotels. Istanbul is nice. If you haven't been, it's nice. It's crazy, but it's also, it has its perks. And I feel like we could contribute more to the disenfranchised communities that we're always tapping into for the numbers and the data. What more can we do for them to give them a voice while we're having a voice? Just adding a voice to the voiceless.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, spot on. I mean, absolutely. I just read something on the timeline, and that kind of circles back to this comment earlier in chat on apparently there's a 2-hour session planned already on the finals presentations during the Unconference. I do need to puzzle out a little bit how this is exactly going to take place, but I assume this will also be,
Well, I'm hoping it'll be at the Unconference that the ambassadors are throwing. This is why I said this stuff is subject to change. I mean, we just wanted to put something up there to launch this thing today, because I thought it would be smart to have this hackathon be aligned with the actual summit, right?
Nice.
To give people the connection to it and also to expand what we're doing, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But then it already was thought of apparently, so that's good.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I thought I told you.
Funny, you have your hand up.
No, I'm just wondering, looking at that live finals hybrid, have you got a time in mind for that? Because if it slotted in neatly, then we should actually program it and put it on, the
Let's
list.
go.
Yeah, we
I
can do that. I
mean,
mean, I'm not sure if the streaming is properly arranged, because
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I mean,
but
I
we can do
I
it.
can tell you guys that they have not continued the streaming, but
oh,
I'm pretty savvy at this. I usually carry an HDMI cord with me everywhere I go, but we could, in case they still have some of the apparatus there, it's really not that hard, right? I mean, you just need a few connects. So why don't we figure this out, like I said, kind of as we go? My plan was to pop it up on the screen for whoever was going to be, visible, because these kids have worked. They're gonna get together in teams and they're gonna build stuff and they're gonna want people to see it, especially the finalists, right? Clearly, we can't see it all, but some of the stuff it will shock you how amazing these young people are and how savvy they are. So yeah, if you guys want to slot it, I say slot it. Give me a time frame. I'll add it there. I'll
I'm
update this thing in the
thinking
morning.
like 1630 UTC is like we've got a gap then till 1900 UTC. So if we went for that, or is that too late in the day?
Let me pull up my little timeline.
See, after that session 3, that's where we've got a gap. So
So starting 16 UTC.
maybe 1630, just in case things overrun. It's always good to assume they might.
Yeah, okay. Well then, but I did see mention of a 2 hour, but in the actual timeline.
Actually, 3. Well, 2.5 if we start at 1600.
Oh, sure, on slot wise, but I saw somewhere a 2 hour mention of the actual finals session.
Right. Okay, so that means it would fit then.
Yeah, assuming this will also run over a little. Yes. So then maybe 16:30 till 18:30 as aim could make sense for 2 hours.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, maybe we should check on this outside of this call, but it does seem feasible to me. Oh, I just note. Yeah, you're back. Cool.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
No.
I missed the time slot.
Well, so there's the third session running till 16 UTC and the fourth session starting 19. So allowing for 30 minutes leeway both on this session and on the final session. Potentially 16:30 till 18:30 could make sense.
That's
UTC.
perfect. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Doing it live. Nice. I mean,
Yeah, I think that'll excite everybody. I think it will really make a great audience build up, for all of us. It gives us one place to channel people. It just seems like it makes a lot of sense.
yeah, for sure. We're gonna have to check on the audio visuals in the room itself. If we get a little audience of, I don't know, let's say get 40 chairs and a screen, that would already be decent.
I'm just thinking, how do we get that to the same Zoom link as everything else is on? Because if people are joining via that link.
Yeah, that's definitely a question for the tech team. I'll be asking that same question because I was told that the streaming was going to end. And so my plan was Zoom,
Yeah.
and then just bumping the Zoom up to the screen inside of the venue and allowing that to be a visual for people.
But I'm
as
thinking then, Nefertiti, if you were to register on this Zoom link and then, you're just comparing and you're on the Zoom, we just hand it out. Are you there in person though?
I'm in person, yeah, and we have
Yeah.
a Zoom, but it's whatever works. I'm in. Like just I think I gave this Zoom link out if it was in that document that
Yeah,
was
it
shared
was.
originally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
was.
whatever that was is what I prepared and shared to the community already.
Cool.
And we're doing daily updates. So again, now that I'm seeing this, I think Esther shared this with me as well. If it's the same link, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it will be. And then I'm thinking if you're on that Zoom and you're just like on your phone in the room, then you can like
Yeah, or I'll put
hand
it
it
on
for
the
people to
computer
go
and
and
then we can
present.
try to use the HDMI to bump it up to the screen.
Yeah,
It just would
yeah.
probably be. So this is the bgi.dcai.events, right?
Well, this is
That's the event app. Yeah, this
That's
is
the
the
event
main
app.
BGI
Okay.
Unconference page.
Okay, remember I'm for dummies now. So I will give this link out and then I've already signed up. And then what you guys will do is build in
This
the
is the link that you've got there is not the event link. The event link is in the chat. And
oh,
is I unfortunately got kicked off, so I can't see it again, but it's it's the bgi.dcai link.
can you throw it in the chat again?
Yeah, I'll put it there.
Oh yeah, that's it. I have that's the one. Okay. So that's the one we need to give out. People need to join there for the finals. Is that correct?
For the finals, sorry.
Just in general, this is where they can go for the unconference. Is that correct?
That's where they go for the whole conference schedule, and then we can put the unconference items there in the schedule as well.
Got it. Okay, because I'm on. I've already signed up. So I'm looking at a dashboard that has event days, total sessions, my session, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So if you go to the schedule, you can go down to Tuesday, October 21st. You can go to the keynote, and you can add it to yours. You can bookmark it and add it to your own schedule. And then the live stream link is going to be there as well, which I think has already been put.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
At the moment, if you want to click it, you're very welcome to. If you want to get rickrolled.
Hilarious. All right. So basically, I could add my own event here, is what you're saying. Is that right?
I think we need to add extra events on our end.
Okay.
So,
okay.
If
So
somebody
I
wants,
could have someone give you guys all the visuals, like the cards, like all of it, and then you can just add it there. And then just all you need to do is just make sure I have the correct log on for the devs. If they need to go through these steps and processes, I just need that to be very clear. But it seems clear that they would just take that link that you gave, use it, sign up. They can use that link to actually watch the full conference, including participate in the unconference. Is that correct?
yes. So the unconference sessions will appear on the schedule once I've handed them over to the people who are working with it on the back end. And then if anybody wants to, so that the ambassador sessions, the structured sessions will be up there with the link, the registration link. And then in the meantime, if anybody wants to, now that would be a good thing actually to align on how do people want to start their own community sessions. They can put in the community feed if they want to start their own session along with their own Zoom room, or they could join the ambassadors unconference, virtual unconference session, and then just start their own room there. As I understand it from Vani, it's possible for anybody to just turn up and have a breakout room in the ambassadors unconference.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just thinking, would it be better not to give people two options because it'll just confuse people?
Yeah, maybe that makes more sense. Just to send people to the virtual unconference with the ambassadors to just go ahead and do it. Send something on the community feed reminding people that that's possible. In fact, that would probably make sense to do that every so often with the ambassadors unconference. Like if somebody from your end would just ensure that you've got something at the top there that says, we're running this session now or something, or join to join to take part or something in the community feed.
As I understand, this is all going to happen in one Zoom call. And so it's not good to create new breakout rooms in middle of that, because then we would have to cancel all the other breakout rooms. We can make like a breakout room X, and we just say, okay, this is free room for everybody to take, and we can make multiple of them. So that was like one option, but I don't know, to reduce the complexity, maybe not include it like on-time breakout room creation too much, and it's more like coordinating it beforehand. And technically, yeah.
Can you not add new ones in the middle,
Well, what happens is
midstream?
that you can only, well, you cannot add new ones. You can create one, and then you can cancel one, and then you create new ones. And because it's from the schedule, it looks like we're gonna like have multiple go-arounds anyway. Like every 2 hours, we can like clear up the breakout rooms and then start new ones. But I'm not even understanding why is it necessary. Like if there is only like these 4 sessions, then they can all be in the same room, or we
Well, no,
want to make the
the notion is that people would, because it's an unconference, then it's also a bit self-organized as well. So if somebody has an idea for spontaneously to create another room, somebody says, well, I want to do one on the morality of dating chatbots kind of thing, then but it wasn't on the schedule, then they should have the freedom to be able to host their own session in a breakout room. But it's useful to know that you can't create one in the middle of a session and that they have to wait until the next iteration.
basically, yes.
No,
And in
but
order to add,
that wouldn't be an issue. We'll just have rooms created, ready. And if anybody rocks up and wants one, then they've got one, haven't they?
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah.
What's the time slot, guys? So you said 16:30 through
18:30, I think we said 16:30 to 18:30, I think is what we're thinking.
30 UTC.
Okay, so what we can do, I can jump in. Sorry, we're gonna be on this. I think it's what is today? 2 days from now. That's Thursday. I'm gonna be engaging with participants from the hackathon. So probably we can have this one ready, time slot, and the spreadsheet, so everybody can jump in and add the rooms they want to have us in this time slot for that conference ready, Vani. So I can help doing that and sharing with the kids.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to get it done like by in the morning. My team, I'm already texting the team right now because I want to
Okay, so we can
update the
advertise it.
website.
We have a specific channel for all the hack members. We have those opportunities. We can remind them. We have like 4 days in a row. We can ask Luke. So Sam is going to be from WADA, kind of facilitating, so he can remind all the participants about that and have this one covered, so we can solve the issue of not being able to create an extra room with the thing.
All right, good stuff. I love this, making it happen live. Yeah, good call out in chat, Vanessa, on adding it to the schedule. Looks good to me. I mean, I guess we have to check in with the organizers of that final session, especially Vada is not in the call right now. So having a bit of a check before adding it to the final schedule would make sense, maybe. Not my call, but yeah. Just looking at the clock. Yeah, at some point we do need to wrap up. I don't want to interrupt like this creative process of actually making progress and puzzling it out. So yeah, trying to make sense of what actually makes sense right now. Esther, earlier you asked about this ideation. What's the term?
Challenge. Challenge is the official
Yes.
is the official title. Yeah.
So
We're
just trying to make sure, like, before completely hopping topic, would it make sense to for now to wrap this session planning stuff? I did make a Mattermost message including pretty much all on this, so we can sync further there. I don't know. I feel bad cutting it short, but I also do want to be somewhat wary of time. And yeah, if needed, at least as far as I'm concerned, I can hop on a call tomorrow to further puzzle this out if needed. All right. So yeah,
Yeah, I think we have a Mattermost group as well now too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we could always just chat with each other. Is everybody in there?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty much on Mattermost as well. So if there's any questions for me, I'm just going to take everything that you guys have given now and try to bottle it up so I can get this up to the website and have everything be accurate and correct. So if you could just reference what I've put in the Mattermost group, or add to it, I'm for dummies. Just let me cut and paste. Just put the links there. I'll add the time, and then boom, it'll go up to the website, and then we'll start promoting it daily. I'll keep it in the blast as I find that to be effective for people. Whenever there's an event, we talk about the next event, and so forth. I feel like we'll at least have 50 to 100 devs that will come over and support. So as far as the breakout rooms are concerned, personally, I think less is more. I feel like people, as much as they don't believe they want to be directed, they like it, especially when you're telling them how to do it. But I do understand the unconference concept. You want people to have a chance to, have breakout rooms. Having them set up is easy. Just set them up and then people can go. But also having a schedule like the ones that you guys built seems to be also very classy. I love the look too. I don't know who put it together, but looks really good.
Yeah, I also would be happy to give some credits there to the one who put it together. I'm honestly not sure who did.
What together?
Sorry?
Just the whole look of the app and the way you guys have organized all of the sessions, and I just think it's If I'm for dummies, if I can follow it, anybody can. I'm like, it's not for me either. I'm just saying.
Yeah. The sessions, of course, were designed by the ambassadors, and the app design is by Deep Labs. So we have a team in Deep Funding Labs who are very highly motivated and very skilled at putting stuff like this together.
I want to meet them, Esther. Hook me up with these kids, or young people, or adults, whoever they are. They're doing a great job. We put together our site in a few days as well, but connecting the stuff together is what's going to really make this work for next year. I feel like this group right here, next year, 2026, it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm happy that I've gotten in touch with you guys. So thank you so much. And if you're ever in Munich, I'll take you for a beer.
Awesome.
I'll hold you to that now.
Okay, so before actually properly fully wrapping up for today, Esther, if you don't mind, I do want to give you a little room to expand on the ideation challenge, and then I do think we covered.
Thank you. I'll be brief because it is past the hour, because families are waiting for me, and I'm sure for others as well. Or hunger or empty bellies, Yeah, so the ideation challenge, we're so pleased. Nexus is really pleased to be partnering again with Deep Funding. We're doing a kind of ideathon. We're going to call it the Ideation Challenge, just so that we're not too close to Hackathon. But it's like a kind of sister event, and it is quite similar to something that Deep Funding itself has been experimenting with, a way to get really good ideas from, not necessarily from technical people, but from anyone. Good ideas can come from anywhere, can't they? And there's kind of there should be no barriers, especially to people expressing needs in different parts of the world. For example, saying, hey, we live here and actually we need this sort of solution for where we live, and nobody's really listening to us or producing the kind of thing that we need. So giving people the opportunity to make their voices heard about their needs, about what they want to be created and what they think will be useful, I think is a really vital channel. And also, you know, any non-technical person who has an idea, or a technical person who has an idea, there's really no limits on creativity. So the idea is to submit ideas that have a kind of brief description of what the problem is, the challenge, and then the solution. And the best ideas would move through into an RFP. So there would be a kind of selection process for the best ideas, and then there would be a prize for the winner. We have 3 categories. The first category is our usual Nexus category of AI for social and environmental good. And we also have additional categories of safety and ethics tooling and governance tooling. So these are kind of all AI-based solutions. So for now, we're staying away from non-AI-based solutions and research. But in time, I hope that as we expand with Nexus, we'll be able to fund those sorts of projects as well. But yes, for now, we're looking for AI solutions. So I think it gives a very interesting and exciting range for people to get involved, and I think that it's great for community to start to gather together and start thinking about what sorts of things the world could really use. It also could be quite a useful working session. So if there's any space in the schedule and any kind of, it would be good to have any collaborative sessions, then having a kind of ideation session for the ideation challenge. If anybody wants to get together and start thinking about those ideas, then it could be kind of a fun exercise.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm just trying to think whether I missed anything out, but I can't immediately think of it.
No, fair. I think so far there's no blogs on this, right? Or no. Maybe I could link something, or I'm
Not just yet. We will be releasing the information in the next day or two, and we'll have a page up on the site as well.
Perfect.
With full guidelines, and the ideas will be submitted through the RFP ideation page at Deep Funding. So that and of course the guidelines will be there as well.
Amazing. It kind of, I mean, I have this hackathon schedule on my screen right now, and it looks like for sure there must be some place to squish this in. I mean, I'm well aware you're also looking for input from non-technical people, but I can only assume that, you know, this group of 200 kids from region X, they would all have quite a similar situation. So maybe also could have some groupthink on what would be helping them.
Yes.
Not mine
Yes,
to
of
speak on, of
course.
course, but
Yes, absolutely. I think it's for everyone. That's the idea of the Ideathon, that it's really for everyone.
yeah, loving it.
And
Yes.
it would be really nice to mobilize community around filtering as well, so that right now the process is kind of highly deep funding focused, and they do a really good job with the review circle of filtering proposals for rounds, and they've really been helpful in processing the 148 or so ideas that came through the AI for Peace Ideathon. But I think that especially if there's a high volume of ideas, it would be great to find some ways to mobilize the entire community, and anyone who's joined from the hackathon, or anyone who's joining for the event online or in person for the BGI Summit. I think it would be really great to not just have people submitting ideas, but also be part of the judging. Beyond voting as well, it would be interesting to see if there's any good ways of filtering before getting to voting, or even instead of.
Yeah, very
So
true.
any ideas on that front, very happy to consider them, especially if there's going to be a scalability challenge with it.
Eventually there will be, absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean, top of mind, yes, we could ask the ambassador community to join in on that. Yeah, that's very low bar, of course. Can't quite speak on hackathon participants, but at least asking them and see if people are interested would be doable, I guess. Can't promise there, but yeah.
I think a lot of people would be interested. I also we've had this conversation about IP, Esther, so we could take that offline, but it all boils down to the person, right? And I think with these types of needs that are happening all over the world, it's going to be a matter of how these things are disseminated, how they're deployed, who gets access. All of that stuff is super important to me, and I'm more than happy to help champion things where people stay in the loop. I feel like that's just something that I have to, keep throwing out there, including in ideations. People want to see things through and at least have transparency in regards to what actually does happen. A lot of these things get paid for, but we never see the outcomes. And so I personally just want to see, well, I want to see the outcome. I'm all about it. That was the first band I was into called Outcome. But anyway, yeah, I'm totally down. I think it's all going to work out. I think next year is going to be a powerful year for action. I think it's going to be a great year for all of us to come together and really start, stop doing the same things in different circles. I just feel like is what I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I want to close the gap on repetitiveness. I would love to get more actions. I feel like that's what the community is begging for. They're like, well, you said all of this, but I can't see it. People believe what they see. That's really just the bottom line. I don't care how rich the community is. It just people believe exactly what they see. I think we all need to do a better job of following through and completion, and then moving on to the next thing. There's so many ideas that I notice everybody has, but there's no execution process and there's not a lot of completion. And I feel like if we could just get to that, we could win.
I can only agree. I mean, yeah, spot on. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm inspired. Also looking to wrap up, to be honest, seeing we're 15 minutes over. Quick.
Is everybody going to be in Istanbul that's on the call?
I'm afraid not. Looking at the names, I think it's going to be Esther, you and me, I think, from the group. We were attempting to send people physically. However, we ran into quite big budgetary constraints, which over the past 2 weeks have not quite improved, I have to admit. Yeah, there's that. That's the only downside of these physical events. They're perfect and they're great and they're awesome. It's just expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I can say that on YouTube, but well, it should be fine.
Well, I look forward to meeting you guys in person, and yeah, I will try and advertise this as soon as possible. It's super important to me because I really want these young people to feel like there's more than just a few winners, that all of them have a chance to join this community and really get active and continue to look forward to some of the stuff you guys are talking about. Exciting. Thank you very much for having me, Peter. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Quick final check on the room. Anything to add from anyone? Now you still can. In a couple of seconds, I'm going to wrap up. So, all right.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, everyone. See you guys later tomorrow.
Thank you, leading the way.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, just to say thank you for your support. Thanks so much for all your help and your creativity as well, and enthusiasm. Really looking forward to it, and really looking forward to seeing the recordings and everything of the virtual Unconference. And yeah, I'll do my best to come in as well. I'd really love to see it and hear it.
Awesome.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.
Ciao.
Okay.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.